I may work in customer service. I don't like the customers. I don't. They are bitches. And some of them really deserve to have their day ruined, but you can't do that when you are a cashier. You just can't. So here are some ways that I've developed over time on how to subtly irritate the customer back so that they leave feeling a little bit annoyed, kind of like how you feel after having to interact with them. Okay, so say a customer comes into your line and they're on the fucking phone blabbing, making it really hard for you to do your job. Irritating. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. I can't stand it. The key to this one working is that you have to play dumb as hell. That you have to be okay with that customer leaving thinking that you are stupid as fuck, but you will it'll be like a little bit of joy for you. You start responding to everything they're saying. So if they're like, oh, like Jimmy's birthday party is next week, you go, oh my, well, how old is Jimmy now? They'll be like, I wasn't talking to you. You go, oh, okay. They start back up again. Yeah, no, I don't know why he's doing that. Doing what? I'm not talking to you. Oh, okay. A lot of times it works out pretty well because then they'll go, oh, sorry, can I call you back? And they'll hang up like they should have done when they got in line. And then you have the opportunity to look at them and ask them all the questions that you are forced to ask instead of having to talk to someone who's talking to someone else. All right, this one also you have to kind of reserve for the people that are asking really stupid questions, not like honest questions, really stupid ones. So like, for example, the customer that cuts the whole line, throws something on the counter and says, what are the dimensions on this? I literally go, well, let's look at it together. What does it say? So where it says dimensions, well, oh, it's right there. 14 inches by 13 inches. Is there anything else I can help you with? Or another scenario, you have a customer who does not want to follow the instructions on the pin pad and instead they've made up their own steps. And then it doesn't work because it won't. And they say, what, did it go through already? I just go, well, what does it say? It says insert card, so you might want to insert your card. Well, I already did. Well, no, it does want you to do that. That's why it's saying that. So why don't we go ahead? Oh, cool. Yep. Oh, wow. It worked. Look at that. This one is risky as hell. So use with your own discretion. I am not responsible for anyone losing their jobs because you didn't do it right. I actually did this today. It felt really great. Some lady came up to me and she was like, I've already been waiting half an hour. How much longer is it going to be? I just went, ma'am, I've been trying to grow another arm the entire time I've been back here. It's not working. So it probably like 10 minutes. If I can get it to pop out, like 5, I'm trying really hard. They just stare at you like, it feels great to do, but it is an art form. So practice makes perfect. Ask and ye shall receive. This is my life's work. So here's part 2. Okay, so the key to this first one is that you have to say it in like a goofy voice. So, scenario. You have a very angry customer in front of you for like whatever stupid reason, and they are so angry that now they are personally insulting you. Insult yourself. The customer is not expecting you to agree with them if they insult you. So if they're like, you're so fucking stupid, you say, oh my God, I know. Imagine if I was like a neurosurgeon or something else actually important. That would be terrible. Many people would die. I promise you, it will leave them speechless, at least for a couple of seconds while they process what the you just said. It will take them a minute. And that's why it's fun for you. You know what I mean? It's fun for you for that couple of seconds. And that's all that matters. All right, this one is your secret weapon. That's why it has a heart. It's so good. This is everything. Malicious compliance is when you intentionally cause outrage by following orders, or in this case, policy, to a fucking minuscule T, knowing that someone's gonna get mad about it. By the way, I am assuming that the people that you're using these tricks on deserve it. So like the underlying understanding here is that these motherfuckers deserve what's coming to them, and you're just kind of handing it back a little bit. You know what I mean? You're not doing this to innocent people. Just, okay? So scenario, customer is in your line, they are rude as hell, they are very clearly in a rush. Malicious compliance would be turning that transaction into the pinnacle of a perfect transaction. If the CEO of your company was there watching you talk to this person, they would be like, wow, they asked every single question they were supposed to. Does your job have credit cards? You asked them 3 times, just like your manager told you to, you know? You picked now to do that. And if they start to get agitated, you just look at them like this. Almost like you're like, I'm cashier superwoman. Like, why are you mad? Here's a personal example because I actually used this yesterday. I had a customer call me screaming because they didn't receive items they didn't buy. And my punishment as a result of their incompetence was that I had to sit on the phone while they placed an online order. Like, they would not let me get off the phone. And they were like, I just don't understand how to do it. You're going to have to walk me through it. And ding, ding, ding. You want me to walk you through it? All right. Gonna open a browser. Do you have Internet Explorer or Google Chrome? Because you're going to want to open a browser, all right? You're going to go https://www. Make it so annoying. Make it so perfectly annoying. Listen, this one, again, risky. You have to do it right. Don't lose your job. For example, a customer comes in, they slam their receipt down and say, I was charged 50 more cents for this item than I was supposed to. You respond, oh my God, I am so sorry. Let's fix this right now. All right, class, everybody take their seats. I've had a few of you requesting how to irritate customers over the phone. Lucky for you, I've been irritating people over the phone the whole time I've been in retail. So boy, do I have a lesson for you today. This one is one of my personal all-time favorites because it always throws people off, whether you're in person or over the phone. If you're in person, though, you got to do it with a straight face or it doesn't work. For those of you who maybe don't know, phonetic spelling is doing the whole like T as in Tom, S as in Sam, A as in Apple to spell things. I like to switch it up a little bit. W as in watermelon, A as in alopecia, P as in petrified, T as in tiddlywinks, C as in corner store, N as in Nostradamus. The more bizarre and niche the word, the better. And this does one of two things. It either makes the angry customer even more angry because they don't have a single sense of humor and sucks to be them. Or two, it breaks the crazy customer and they start giggling with you. It's so good. All right, this one you have to reserve for the screaming customers that are so irate that you can't get a word in and they clearly don't want to be helped. They just want to yell. Also, I didn't make this one up, so if someone knows the original creator on this app that created this, please tag them because I'm absolutely stealing it. I use it all the time. Step one is to stop talking completely. They're in the middle of their yelling, you stop talking. The hard part is once they stop yelling, you stay quiet. You don't say a word. Usually they'll go for another round of yelling because they feel the pause and then they'll go, oh, well, I should keep yelling, and they keep going. And then at a certain point they go, are you still there? Or like, hello? To which you respond, yes, ma'am, I am still here. I just wanted to make sure I heard everything you had to say before I tell you what I'm able to do for you today. Ooh, gets them every time. It's so good. All right, here's another one that I hold dear to my heart because it works really well. You also don't have to use it just on people that are yelling at you. You can use it on people who just keep you on the phone for a really long time. The fun with this one too is the person that you're like apologizing to that's like in front of you doesn't even have to exist. They can be made up. But if you're on the phone and they just won't let you get off the phone, you do one of these and you go, I am so sorry. I will be with you in just 1 minute. I'm just wrapping up a phone call. Keywords, wrapping up. If you want to add in a little extra pizzazz, you can go, yeah, I know, I'm so sorry. I know it's frustrating that you have to wait, but I will be with you as soon as I am off the phone. And seriously, most people will be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I was keeping you. And that's when you get to throw in the, yeah, so like I mentioned, it really would be quicker if you went online, all of your questions answered with a click of a button. It works even better if the person is real and is in front of you because this shit happens all the time. But if the person on the phone is yelling at you, oh boy, they're irritated that you're not listening and that you're helping the customer that's in front of you. Ooh, that makes them so mad. Although those are the same bitches that come into your store and are mad that you're answering the phone when it's ringing. And they're like, I drove here. You should be helping me. Well, yeah, Just because you work in customer service does not mean you have to like the customers, especially when those customers ride the line between extremely frustrating and abusive, but never teeter quite over to the point where you're able to do something and kick them out of the store. You know what I'm talking about. In those cases, it can feel like there's nothing you can really do to make these people respect you. I'm here to tell you there is something you can do. You can irritate them. This is a true favorite of mine because you get to put on a little show, and I love that. Scenario, customer comes up to the registers, they have a return to make, they don't have the receipt. By golly, they've lost it. Pretty much everywhere, you get store credit in that situation, but this customer is very angry and they start spouting off, they're going off. They're like, you're being ridiculous. I don't understand. Every time I go to the other store, they're more than happy to just give it back to me in cash. Ooh, those are the magic words. They've said them. Now is your chance to perform. I'm sorry, what location did you say this happened at? Usually at this point, they're like, well, I don't want to get anyone in trouble. That's when you get to go, ma'am, you just did. What you're describing is a very serious policy violation. Somehow, the person who's been doing this for you has been able to bypass our entire register system. So, you know, I really am going to need you to give a physical description of the person who's been doing this for you so we can bring them to justice. Without fail, every time I've done this, the person goes, oh, I'm not trying to make a big deal about this. I'm not trying to make a big deal. Bitch, yes, you were. You were about to make a huge stink about it, actually. And now that I'm making a bigger stink, you don't like that. Well, that's just too bad, because now I got a form to fill out. I got to report this to corporate right away. No, I don't. I'm going to be scribbling on a piece of paper, acting like I'm writing something I'm not. Okay, this next one is one of my favorites. You have to do it right. If done correctly, the customer should leave thinking that you're a little bit stupid, and that's what you want. Because if they think you're doing it on purpose, they're going to be like extra offended. If they say something just so stupid, laugh out loud. Laugh out loud like they're making a joke. Example, someone walks up and they're like, I was here 3 weeks ago and this was on sale, but it's not on sale anymore. I need the sale price from 3 weeks ago. You hit them with the, oh my God, imagine if we could do things like that. You would not believe how many people actually ask me that question seriously. Anyways, what kind of bag would you like today? It stuns them. Anyone with a modicum of like self-reflection capabilities will take a look at themselves for a moment. If they don't have any self-reflection capabilities, you'll know immediately after you say that. And then you can just look real concerned and be like, oh no, ma'am, I'm so sorry. That's not something we do here. It's just like delightful. It's so fun to do. Okay, this next one. This one's my favorite. I use this so much. Listen, I'm sharing my secret weapon with you guys. You use this one on the feral children, the ones who are absolutely off the wall. Their parents don't give a shit. They're destroying things in your store. This works especially well with children aged like 6 to 11 because they have a basic understanding of the world, but they don't get it, really. You march up to that child with a serious face on and you say, son, I have something to tell you. A very long time ago, I was behaving just like you are behaving right now in this store. And you know what they did? They locked me in, and I've never left since then. I have not left this spot. So listen, you have to be really careful or else you're gonna end up like me. It terrifies them, but it stops them from destroying everything in your store. A lot of times they're like, Mom. But I've never had a parent yell at me for saying that to their kid. They think it's funny as hell. They're also usually not great parents, which is why. The way I see it is if I have to spend like 45 minutes of my time walking around the store and cleaning up the absolute destruction that was left in the wake of your family as it perused the store, then I am more than justified to give your child a little bit, a dollop of existential crisis. And who knows, maybe it contributes to their overall worldview. They think that the people that work in stores are trapped there. They start to feel bad. They stop destroying things. Maybe. Anything. Just because you work in customer service does not mean that you have to like the customers. I don't usually. Actually, I just got a new job like a month ago, and I don't hate any of my customers, but I know some of you guys are deep in the trenches, so here are some ways to subtly irritate them when they deserve it. This one's a personal favorite, but you really gotta commit. If they're yelling at you, hit them with a lazy eye. Pro tip, you can get a similar effect by just staring at the center of their forehead. It'll just weird them out. I can't explain it, just try it. Number 2 is go so fucking slow. Take your time with that transaction. If they have a basket on the counter, this is my favorite thing to do. If they bring a basket up to the counter, you slowly take everything out one by one, gently place it on the counter because you don't want to break it. That would be rude. If they hand you cash, you are diligently counting that money. You must be sure. And if they get irritated, well, that is the point. Okay, I've never done this one, but I feel like it would be really funny. Regardless of who the person is or what they look like, be like, has anyone ever told you you look exactly like Kris Jenner? When they inevitably are like, no, you can say a couple of things. You could be like, you know, it must just be your vibe, because they're gonna be like, what the does that mean? Or just be like, you know, I must not know who Kris Jenner is. They will leave questioning that interaction, and that's all you can really ask for. That is what is beautiful to me. Just because you work in customer service does not mean that you have to like the customers. It's true, some of them suck so much. Some customers act like you were born in the stockroom, like your employer signed your birth certificate and you exist solely to serve the customers. Like, am I even a person to you? I do exist outside of this job. So what do you do if you get a customer that's being rude enough to cause emotional strife, but not being rude enough to the point where you can actually kick them out of the store? You can irritate them. I fantasize about doing these, but I have a big girl job where I can't do this anymore. Damn. If a customer's being really mean to you for no reason, they're just not being understanding at all, just tell them it's your first day. Sometimes strangers will be a lot nicer to you if they think that you're just in the middle of a learning curve. But I feel like this would be especially funny if you know the customer, like if you've seen them a bunch of times. And I like this one because if the customer is like getting too irritated as a result of it, you can always just pretend it was a joke. Karen, you and I both know it's not my first day. I was totally just messing with you. Of course I remember you. How can I help you? If you offer to help men, they hate that shit. Especially if you imply that like they look like they need help. In my mind, you have to reserve this one for the men that are creepy or like misogynistic. Like imagine they're buying just like a small bag of things and you hit them with a, do you want some help bringing this to your car? No. Why would you assume that I need help bringing this to my car? I'm a macho man. Oh, okay. If you want to try it all by yourself, then that's totally fine. But I'm here if you change your mind. They hate that shit. And I love that shit. I actually have done this one before. It feels really good. Next up, I feel like it would be really funny if you were to just say howdy doody more than once in the conversation. Just sprinkle it in there. I feel like that would be off-putting to anybody, you know? This one's the best one. Ask so many questions. I actually have also done this one too. You just ask every question you can think of. Did you find everything you were looking for? How was your shopping experience with us today? Do you want this item wrapped? Do you want this item wrapped? Do you want this item wrapped? And would you be interested in signing up for our credit card today? Are you sure? It's an amazing program. You get an elephant mailed to you every month and there's no annual fee. And would you like cash back today? Did you want a bag for this? What kind of bag would you like for this? Is this an okay bag size for you? And would you be interested in donating to a charity today? No? I'm sorry, you must not have heard me. Would you like to donate to a charity today? Listen, I know you said no earlier. Would you like to sign up for our credit card? I really think you'd like it. Just anything and everything you can think of with the most beautiful customer service smile you've ever had. It makes them so mad. Customer servicing people is the best way to irritate them, I swear. Just do your job and it'll make them mad. It already does. Anyways, that's it. Howdy doody, I'll see y'all later. Just because you work in customer service does not mean that you have to like the customers. In fact, I don't know many people who do. They fucking suck and they're so rude. So, I mean, if you want to keep your job, you can't be rude back, but what you can do is irritate them in return. I use this one all the time. Call the situation a bummer. Example. I don't understand why I can't return this without the receipt. Like, I don't want store credit. I just want cash. Just give me cash. Once again, I'm so sorry, but that's not something that I'm able to do for you today. This is ridiculous. I should be able to return it and get my money back. I know. What a bummer. I wish I could do that for you, but I can't. In order for this to work, you really got to hit him with the face. What a I'm so sorry. I know it's a bummer. They hate that shit. That's what they want to say is, it's not a bummer. I'm very angry and I'm righteous in my anger. No, it's a bummer. You didn't get your way. Oh, what a stinky time. They hate this one too. This is the zinger you use for the irate customers. The ones that are so angry that they're like foaming at the mouth almost. They're spitting everywhere. Red in the face. You know what I mean? This is ridiculous. I'm never shopping here ever again. Okay, I understand. And I really hope your day gets better. I will tell you, the number of times I've been told "f*** you" in response to that sentence is astronomical. But, you know, if they do that, you win anyways. This next one is actually like a life hack. You should use this with everybody in your life, not just the customers, but working in customer service is an excellent way to practice it. If you are a people pleaser, you may already have the quality of hypervigilance where you kind of like monitor other people's emotions and you try to like guess what they're thinking and like what the problem might be, like before they say anything out loud. Stop doing that with customers. Stop doing that with everybody, but stop doing that with customers. Like if they are huffing and puffing and sighing loudly, like right in front of you and they want you so bad to be like, what's wrong, baby girl? Let them use their words. Like, allow them to just sit there and huff and puff and sigh and cross their arms and stomp their feet. You don't have to say, I'm sorry, is something bothering you? Like, do you need something? You can allow them to feel what they're feeling, let them be uncomfortable, and if they need something, they can tell you like an adult. Just let it be known they will hit you with a frustrated outburst at some point, but it's like worth it. It's like a learning experience for them, and you don't have to sit there and try and like monitor another person's emotions, but they will freak out at the end and be like, excuse me, I need this thing. And then you can be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't hear you say that before. Like, I must have not heard you. Use your big girl words. Anyways, good luck out there. We're all in this together. Just because you work in customer service does not mean you have to like the customers. In fact, to the customers. Now, this is the advanced version of irritating the customers. This is not for novices in the field, okay? I am not responsible if you use one of these incorrectly and you go ahead and you lose your job, all right? Not my fault. Okay, so this first one is better shown than explained. Imagine this. You watch a customer go into an aisle and disrespectfully destroy the entire aisle. Shit all over the floor. When they get to the register, you hit them with one of these. Oh, I see you're buying bath mats. I really need to apologize for the state of that aisle. I walked by it just a few minutes ago and someone went through there and destroyed everything. There were bath mats all over the floor. It's going to take us like 15 minutes to clean it up. It must have not been fun to shop in. I'm so sorry, and I'm glad you found what you needed. Is there anything else that I can do for you today? You have to say it in the sweet, dipshit customer service voice, or it's not going to work. You have to really commit to it. That's why this is not for beginners. What you're hoping for is like a little bit of embarrassment on the low key. It's an under the skin zinger. It's only you and them that know the truth. You know what I'm saying? You can also do this if they've been opening packages in the store everywhere. When they get to the register with something open, you say, oh my goodness, this one is opened. I am so sorry that you had to buy a half-opened one. You know, these people, they are opening things all the time, even though that's so gross for people to open stuff. Okay, next one. You know how when this happens, my adrenaline rushes. It's like you've told the customer, no, you're not going to give them what you want. You can't give them what they want because it's either impossible or stupid. In the moment the Karen realizes that they're not going to get what they want, they'll stare at you. They will sit there and stare at you for an uncomfortable amount of time like this. Hatred in their eyes. Muster up every ounce of courage you have and stare right back at them. Look right in between their eyes if you have to. Or if you want to weird them out, look at their earlobe. That's really weird. But don't you dare break that eye contact. It's an intimidation move. It's like a primal evolutionary thing. If you look away, subconsciously, they think that they are the dominant one and that they won. Don't let them win! Stare back. I know it sucks. I know it sometimes feels very intimate to do that. Send daggers, or if you need to, what I do, repeat over and over in my head as I'm staring at them, trying to like transplant it into their brain. I just go, look at yourself. Look at yourself. Listen to yourself. It makes the time, it feels eternal. Makes it go by a little faster. This one is really risky. Listen, this is really risky. It actually works best if you have other people kind of in on it. It's like it's a group gaslighting thing if you do it right. But the thing is, you can't just do that to any bad customer. You have to do it to the worst of the worst. I'm talking like now they are insulting you. That is when I think this is warranted, in my opinion. They're angry. They're escalating. Nothing you can do as a fucking customer service representative can calm them down. You gotta wait for that insult and you gotta think quickly. You gotta have it in your back pocket ready to go. Nobody here knows what they're doing. You are a fucking idiot. You pretend wholeheartedly, genuinely, that they said that about themselves. Ma'am, listen, I know that you're upset, but you really don't need to call yourself an idiot. I feel like that's really uncalled for. I know this is a simple misunderstanding, but like, you are not an idiot. I didn't call myself an idiot. I called you an idiot. No, you said, nobody here knows what they're doing. I am a fucking idiot. And we don't tolerate that here, even self-speak. That is not even what I said. Why would I call myself a fucking idiot? This is when it's really good that if you have to be near bestie when this happens, okay? They have to be on the same wavelength. You can't do this around anyone who's already drank the corporate Kool-Aid. Not gonna happen. If bestie is nearby, maybe send this to them. Send this to bestie so y'all are ready. Bestie is nearby, they go, yeah, no, you did call yourself an idiot. And like she said, that's not something we want to hear in our store. The goal of this one is they get so mad that they just storm out. Honestly, if you're in it mode, these three might work for you. So I hope you enjoy. The video is now over for everybody. Everyone else can scroll except for if you are a motherfucking writer for the Daily Dot. The rest of this video is for you. You better listen carefully. You guys have hit me hard in the past year. 2, just last month. Here's the second one. And you fucking assholes. It was the job I had just quit. This is not why I quit the job. You do this to me all the time. Writers, I'm talking to you directly today because I know you fucking love this series. I know you're just salivating at the thought of writing another fucking article with some of the shit I said in this one. And I have something to say. Y'all notoriously do this thing where you comment on a video asking for a comment, and then I give a comment And even though I responded to your comment, you didn't put my comment in here. You posted this like 9 hours later. I took that other screenshot at 1:10 p.m. Why did you not put in my comment? I don't like what you do to me and also the other content creators on this app. It's really low-hanging fruit, if you ask me. Why didn't you post my comment that I responded to in time before this article was published? Why didn't you put my comment in there? You're insinuating that I didn't answer. I did. Before you do this shit again, if one of you is going to write an article on this bullshit, I don't want an email at 3 a.m. just to wake up and find that you posted it at 7 a.m. I don't want a midnight comment from another anon-looking account. This is my comment. If you write an article on this one, this is my comment. I've written it out very nice for you. I even included the kiss ass so that you may know to kiss my ass. Put that in there verbatim. I want to see it in quotes. That's what I have to say. If you... Also, it is my opinion, also legally, for legal reasons, it's my opinion that you're unethical. I don't like what you do. And other people have a lot of stories. I've had it. Put that in there. Just because you work in customer service does not mean you have to like the customers. In fact, it's weird if you do. Since you can't be outwardly mean to the customers without losing your job, here are some fun ways you can irritate them on the down low, and they get increasingly more risky. If they're ranting about something stupid, stop them in the middle of their sentence and go, "Do you smell that?" Because like 100% of the time they'll stop and go, "No," and you go, "Seriously? You don't smell that?" Refuse to go into detail about what the smell is, but then just go and look at them as if it's them. If they're already being terrible to you, it's okay to let them leave thinking they're a little stinky, all right? This one is a little riskier because they could get really angry, but let them go on a whole rant about, again, something really dumb. Let them get all the way to the end and then say, "Hey, I'm so sorry. Could you please repeat that?" Don't tell them why. Don't say like, "I wasn't listening. Can you repeat that?" Just like, you've been staring at them the whole time. They wait till they get to the end and say, "I'm so sorry. Can you say that one more time?" I know this is irritating because I actually have trouble understanding what people say sometimes, and every time I ask them to repeat themselves, they get mad at me. So you can weaponize that if you want. This one is, again, risky, but you use this when someone like straight up insults you to your face. You look them dead in the eyes, and you gotta have the dagger eyes when you do it, and you say, "Thank you so much for the feedback on my personality. May I do the same?" They're gonna say no. They're actually gonna freak out. But on the off chance they say, "Oh yeah? Yeah, go ahead. What do you gotta say?" You just parrot back the thing that you've likely been telling them the whole time about how to actually fix the issue that they're having. You just pretend that your feedback is that, and they get confused. Their adrenaline gets pumping, and then you hit them with the same thing that you've been telling them the whole time. And they say, "That's the feedback on my personality that you're gonna give me?" You say, "I'm not giving you feedback on your personality. I'm just trying to make sure you have a great customer experience." Anyways, I hope this helps. I hadn't done one of these videos in like almost a year, and thought it might be time. So, hope this helps.